Despite intense protests in the area, Prime Minister facing intense protests and posters which says Modi go back, BJP allies either withdrawing or threatening to do so. Despite all of this major backlash, the government has listed the Citizenship Amendment Bill in Parliament today. The bill is listed to be moved by Home Minister Rajnath Singh. But in light of the constant disruptions in the House, in fact with Rajya Sabha not functioning for a single day since December 31st, will the bill see the light of the day at all? Also, the important motion of thanks on the President's address is due to be taken up. The states in the northeast, including Meghalaya, Assam, Mizoram and Manipur, have been seeing wide-scale protest ever since the controversial bill was passed in Lok Sabha in January. What exactly will happen in Parliament now? Let's try to find that out from my colleague Himanshu joining us with the latest. Good morning to you, Himanshu. Last 2 days left for the Parliament session, tomorrow being the last one. The listing, interestingly, coming at a time where there has been so much protest in the northeast. But is it realistically possible for the government to bring out this bill?
A very difficult question, Sonal, because the protest has not only been in the northeast, but in the Rajya Sabha as well. We have seen right through the budget session on different issues, opposition parties have been protesting and they have not allowed the House to function. What is important to understand is that the motion of thanks on President's address debate has not finished in Rajya Sabha. In fact, it has not yet been taken up in the way that government would have liked to take it up. And as you know, the convention is that Prime Minister replies to the debate on President's address in both the houses. In Lok Sabha, it has happened. In Rajya Sabha, because of continuous disruptions, it has not happened so far. So the first requirement is, by convention, that the President's address is taken up for a debate. A motion of thanks on President's address is taken up for debate in Rajya Sabha. That has to be taken up first before any legislative agenda is taken up. That's what we have been told. So, but the important thing here is, Sonal, that despite protests during Prime Minister's visit, despite protests by several NDA allies, especially smaller parties from northeastern states, despite tensions in many states, in Manipur, I was just reading that the Bandh has been there for more than 36 hours now against the citizenship bill. The Chief Minister is here in Delhi. The government has decided to list the Citizenship Amendment Bill. And that is important. It shows the intent of the government, the intention of the government to push through this bill despite protests. Question also is that whether there is consensus on this bill, because in Rajya Sabha, government doesn't have the majority. And to cobble up support in favor of this bill, government will have to talk to opposition parties, take them into confidence. But that has not happened in the budget session. So the larger question is both. One, whether the House will function today, whether the opposition parties will allow the House to function, whether first the motion of thanks on President's address can be taken up for final debate today. And second, if a citizenship bill is taken up, is there any political consensus in Rajya Sabha? Does the government have the numbers? So it's a very difficult question actually to answer what will happen to the Citizenship Amendment Bill. But what is more important is the intent of the government is very clear.
That's
that
right.
Despite opposition and protests in Rajya Sabha, in Northeast, government has decided to list the bill today.
All right, and perhaps that's the key takeaway. The government, still very certain that they will go ahead with this. We don't know if it will actually see the light of the day, but they have listed it and the Home Minister is set to table it in Rajya Sabha. We also have Ratnadeep. Himanshu, stay back with us. We also have Ratnadeep joining us for more on this. Ratnadeep, you just listen to what Himanshu also said. A little likelihood that the bill will be passed or will even see a mention in Rajya Sabha. But the fact that the government has listed it shows their intent. That's not going to go down well with those still protesting. You said that Manipur is still in a state of bandh.
Absolutely not, Sonal. Absolutely not. In fact, if the bill is tabled in Rajya Sabha, then there would be more vigorous protest across Northeast. In fact, in Manipur, the situation is really tense. There is Section 144 imposed all around the state capital Imphal and the adjoining areas. In fact, the state Chief Minister N. Biren Singh had rushed to Delhi yesterday. He met Rajnath Singh. He tried to plead to Rajnath Singh not to go ahead because this will create a lot of turmoil back in Manipur. Remember, he is a BJP Chief Minister. Also yesterday, very significantly, Arunachal Pradesh Chief Minister Pema Khandu also went forward and met Rajnath Singh. Now, he is the second BJP Chief Minister from Northeast who has met Rajnath Singh and had opined that the centre should not go forward with this bill. Remember, Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad Sangma is already in New Delhi. He has made his intentions very clear and he has told BJP that you go forward, table this bill in Rajya Sabha, I am going to pull out of NDA. So we might see first NPP, which is a major partner of the NDA in the Northeast. Remember, Conrad Sangma's own government is being supported by the BJP and he again supports the N. Biren Singh government in Manipur. So it's not only protest. A lot of governments, you have BJP which has been able to cobble up numbers and form governments in Northeast with the help of smaller regional parties who are opposed to the bill. And we might see that with if the government goes forward and tables the bill in Rajya Sabha, several regional partners of the BJP might walk out just like the way AGP did last month over the same issue when the bill was tabled in Lok Sabha. So there might be a political crisis in some of the states in Northeast which might lead to some law and order situation as well, and that's something the state governments are worried about, and that's exactly why the Manipur government, as a precautionary measure, has not only imposed Section 144 of CRPC but also has suspended internet data services and message services.